Welcome to Meet the Directors, Indian Panorama. Today we have with us Sri Supriyo Sen and Sri R.K. Soran. Supriyo Sen is an international award-winning documentary filmmaker. He has got 36 awards. He has produced and directed feature and short documentaries like Wait Until Death, The Nest, Way Back to Home, Hope Lies Last in War, Rukban, The Beautiful, Vaga, to name a few. Hope Dies Last in War won 3 national awards, including the Swarna Kamal for Best Documentary. He's here with our grandparents' home. He's also the story writer of the same movie. This is based on the film on partition. This is based on partition, and this is in fact his 5th film based on partition. We also have with us Sri Ramakrishna Soran, who is an SRFTI alumnus. As part of his project repertoire at film school, he has filmed shorts and documentary films, financially backed by Ministry of Culture, National Heritage and Polish Film Institute. His project Mendel Queen has been screened at film festivals. He is here with a Santali short film of 30 minutes. He is also the story writer of the same film. This film explores the story of Epil and his new relationship with Raya. Let's start with Supriyo Soran sir. So can you please give a brief intro and your experience of this film festival and your journey through the film world?
I've been participating in IFFI for a long time. In fact, one of my last films, Vaga, has won award here. Those days we used to have a short film competition with ESG. So it won the second best film. So I have a long connection with IFFI, DFF, Indian Panorama. It's very nice to be back here with the film, and yesterday I had a great audience. I mean, a packed house audience, so which is great for a documentary filmmaker, because in India documentaries are not very popular even today. So getting that big audience is in itself is a encouraging thing, even for a senior filmmaker like me. About this film, I have been pursuing the issue, not pursuing, it's my, actually I'm coming from a refugee family who became refugees during the partition. They came from East Pakistan, which is Bangladesh now. So from my very childhood, I was told by my parents the beautiful stories of their village, and also about the violence, the massacres and everything. So this element actually got very deep into my existence, my conscience. And when I decided to be a filmmaker, I always thought I should make film on partition. So the first film I made in 2003 called Way Back Home, it was about taking back my parents to their homeland after 50 years. So it was the first personal documentary on partition of India. So that film was very successful. It was well received by the press, international award. It won Golden Coach and Best Film in MIF. It won National Award. It won Commonwealth Award. Also it traveled all over the world. The most importantly, this film was very well received in Bangladesh and also in Pakistan. So when you make a film on partition, and we all think that it's a very critical issue, how the Hindus will react to it, how the Muslims will react to it, how the other countries will react to it. But when you see that this is being appreciated by international audience, then you become confident as an artist, as a filmmaker who is deeply pained by the division of this country. So after making that film and getting success of that film, I realized that I have to talk about partition more and more, because we have all experienced what happened in Europe during the time of Hitler, all the genocides and everything. And they still talk about it, they write about it, they make films about it, they have museums about it. Whereas, like during partition, we had the biggest migration of modern history. 15 million people migrated. 1 million people died. Women were raped. Villages were burned down. But we hardly have enough memory, enough recollection of those facts. So even we don't have a museum for those people, which is a huge tragedy. Although just last year they have came up with a museum in Amritsar about partition. Anyway, so the next film I made is called Way Back, Hope Dies Last in War, although it was not directly related to partition, but it was about 54 Indian prisoners of war who are still languishing in Pakistani jails for 40 years. So it was about the families, it was about the suffering of the people who are still waiting to their comeback, because they knew that they are alive. There are so many documents that these people were captured alive in Pakistan. And because India didn't return some of the prisoners of war to Pakistan, they also kept back some of them. So it was about the conflict, the result of partition. Like we have been in the same country before, then we have divided in two, then three, and we started fighting with each other. So this was about the fallout of partition. Then the third film was called Wagah. It was about Wagah border, and how three little kids look at border and the military show off from their point of view. And the film was very, very successful. I mean, this film won in Berlinale, Carlo Vivari, and it's won almost more than 25 international awards, and it was shown 250 film festivals. So I kept on making films on partition. So this is the fifth one, and it is supported by Goethe Institute, Kolkata. And this film is about 16 young people from Bangladesh and India who cross over and try to find collect the memory of third generation partition survivors. So that's the film is all about.
Sri Ramakrishna Shoran, can you have your story of Apple?
Hello everyone, I'm R.K. Soren. I have studied filmmaking from Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute, Kolkata. Actually the film school has given me a lot, so because of the film school also I'm here. I'm here for the first time in Goa, so there's all new experiences for me, and very glad to see all beautiful people out here. Yes, about my film, yesterday it was screened in INOX in the evening, so I hope, whoever has seen it, and whoever have not seen it, so I will just say a few things about the film. The film is about a village, a place actually, a space, what we say, and the people from that place actually. So obviously the space always plays a very interesting role in what we have been taught, like in a story when we write, like we always talk about the space. So we all are connected to our space. So the film is all about a young little girl. She is very much curious about the upcoming fun fair which is going to happen in the village, which is organized by some senior people from that village, because few years back a plague has been affected to that village. So everyone is struggling with in their own selves. There is a financial crisis and everything. So to recover, for all this, they organize a fun fair to gather funds and to help each and every people from the village. So this is how actually the story goes on. So this young little girl named Ipil. Okay, Ipil is a Santhali name. It's a Santhali tribe. Ipil means star. So that's the name of the title of the film and the young little girl from the film. So some tragedy happens to her, and what tragedy? She is raised by a single father. So even in the film, she lost her father as well. So now all her dreams breaks down. Like because as a kid, they don't understand that so much. Maybe, once we grow old, we also don't care about that so much. So only the middle-aged people fear a lot about that, and so even me too, I'm a middle-aged, so still I feel the same. But I know, when I will grow old, so I won't care about life and death a lot. So this, so the story is all about that young girl. She has loses her father, but still she is very much excited about the fun fair which is going to happen. She is thinking, how should she attend the fun fair, because there is no one to take care of her apart from her grandparents. So the grandparents also doesn't stay in that village, so they took her away to their home and all. So the story goes like that. This is what the film is all about. And what I want to say about me is, even me, I come from a tribal family. I'm a Santhal. So, and because of this partition and this geographical and political, so tribals are spreaded in many places in West Bengal, in Jharkhand, politically Jharkhand has become a tribal state. Then some part is in Odisha and then Chhattisgarh. But I have raised up in a very different culture actually, and because of my father, I think, because my father works in railway, he still works in railway, so he has left, his home, and I'm going back to home, so it's like that. So what my father didn't do, so I'm trying to do those things. It's also because when I've started realizing where I am from and what I'm doing and for what reason I'm here, so keep on questioning myself. I realized that I won't be going anywhere. I'm not from anywhere. I'm whatever I do, it won't go anywhere. And so I realized the main thing is the first thing which I can do to keep myself happy. So I realized so what work should I do to keep myself happy? I tried hundreds of jobs and hundreds of things in my life. So, and nothing seriously made me so happy. Apart from once I realized I should do filmmaking, I should write stories, I should make those stories into reality and bring it on screen and make it live. So this all started like that. So then I joined SRFTI. Then 3, 4, 5 years have gone from SRFTI. Now it's been 2 years I'm passed away. So during this film school days, I have made 4 to 5 short films, but I won't count some of them. My first Santhali film was about a character who wants to go back home. He has raised up in a city and he wants to go back to his village. He wants to leave everything and go back to his village. Leave everything. So he is still confused, that's a big decision, so he is still confused whether he should go ahead with that decision or should still think. So that's actually the character's graph from that first short film of mine. After that, I have made a documentary. The name of the documentary is Mental Queen. And that was again, it was screened in Kolkata Film Festival, I think last year. So that was very real character, because we have a course, an academic course also. We have to make a documentary. So while searching for a character, I always look some kind of characters who really who hits me. I mean, very psychologically and very personally. So I met this guy. I mean, his name is Souvik. He used to work in a friendship club. I don't know, I mean, how many people are aware of friendship clubs out here. That document is very, very close to me because I like that document. I mean, that's the work, I mean, of my, I still don't think that documentary belongs, I mean, I made that documentary, I still don't believe it. Actually, the person is very interesting from that. I will just tell you a few lines from that documentary. The character from that film, he works in a friendship club as a receptionist, where we have in newspapers and everywhere we see all ads for the friendship clubs and also like that very simple regular newspaper ad. So, and he talks. Whenever you call to that number, I mean, a girl will, but he mimics his voice as a female receptionist, to attract more customers. So that's the very interesting thing about that character, that Souvik, who works as a receptionist, because he makes his voice as a female. And seriously, if you listen to his voice, you will never recognize you are talking to a man, a middle-aged, well-grown-up man. I mean, he changed his voice so well, and he has said everything in that documentary. And even it's been taken to the radio also, the radio station in Kolkata. It's been on aired also. Everything is interview, everything, and I have shorted all those things also. Anyway, so. This I want to say. I mean, even Supriyo sir also said his documentary is our grandparents' home. So somewhere even I feel so, because I'm also going back to my grandparents' home. Actually, my parents stay somewhere else. I said that I'm not going to stay in a city. I will go back to a village. I will stay there. I have cattle there, and I have goats there, I have ponds there, I have lakes there, I have rivers there. So I enjoyed that. I mean, I love it actually. I mean, it's very hard for me, if I stay for a day long in a room. It makes me feel like I'm locked somewhere. So this is all about. I don't know what else I should say about all these things.
I think you will have so many questions to answer. Yeah. So the floor is now open for Q&A session.
I have submitted the film, so they have to select the film to show it.
All right. Okay. But you hope that it will be shown?
It should be.
It's for you. Other than these movies, which are the most popular trends you find in the industry where you make your movies? And which markets do you have other than your country?
In documentaries? In the West, documentary is now very popular. If you see the film festivals, now even the main competitions sections in Cannes, Berlin, Venice, they take feature documentaries. So the distinction between documentary and fiction, it's reducing very fast in terms of aesthetics of it, also in terms of how people value it. Unfortunately, in India, it's taking too much time to accept documentary as a proper cinematic form. And people like us face a lot of discrimination. Like after making documentaries for 22 years, sometimes our friends say, oh, you are still making documentaries, when will you make cinema? So, so sometimes we are called as short filmmakers. So they don't even bother about And generally ours, I mean, like we have more than 500 to 600 television broadcasting agencies in our country, but hardly anybody show documentary. They don't take the challenge of, showing it to the people. But I can guarantee you Indian documentary is very much evolved, and this is not those kind of documentary which are very boring and typical. There are like amazing works are being done in India, and they have been appreciated internationally, winning awards, traveling all over the world. But unfortunately, it's not reaching our own people. So this is the situation. It should change. I don't know when it will change.
So my question is to RK sir. How challenging was it for you to work with a child in a movie, and that too very, very serious movie?
See, I have casted another girl, not this one. So the first casting, she said no before the shoot, like 3-4 days. Then this girl has been casted 1 day before the shoot. Seriously, I'm telling you. Just 1 day. And I don't know how she said yes, but after the first day of shoot, she said no, I won't do. So I don't know, okay, now 1 day shoot I did, and she's saying no, so, but like, I was lucky, I think. So I convinced her, and it's very difficult to shoot. To shoot with a small, any child artist, like if they are not professional, because in my entire film no one is professional, no one is actor, no one has faced camera in their life before, so everyone is non-actor, everyone. I would say like most of them are my family members only, so I have my uncle, my cousin, my everyone actually. I have made this film in my village, so everyone knows me, everyone, like I have convinced everyone, so it's like that. So it's difficult. With professional, I don't think so. It's so difficult. But if you're working with non-professional, obviously, because you have to get your things done. You have to understand them as well, and they can say you no at any time. It doesn't matter to them actually. 10 days. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
No, please.
Mr. Supriyosen, can you say one thing about the marketing of non-feature documentary or short film? Can you say this? Which is made by Supriya and Financials abroad. So, if you tell something about this. Okay.
See, in India we don't have much market. We have few agencies who support documentaries like Films Division, PSBT, and few other. Internationally, especially in US and Europe, Canada, and some other countries, documentary has a big market. So, to get financial success through a documentary project, one has to go through that process, like international co-productions, or applying to the grants. Like there are many important grants all over the world, not many, but some. They support independent projects like Sundance Documentary Fund, ITFA Bartha Fund, Asian Cinema Fund, and there are some other also. So one has to go through. These are very competitive process like international co-production or but you have to go through it to get decent money to make your film and also sustain as a human being. We also have some pitching platforms developed here. Like one is Dockage in Kolkata, where every year international commissioning editors, they come to choose or select or support Indian documentaries. So things are becoming little better, but it's still, it's not very easy for Indian documentary filmmakers to sustain on just making documentary films. And the more important challenge is, I mean, which is more important than this issue, is that the visibility. You spend so many years of your time to make a good documentary. Documentary takes a lot of time. It's not like you have a good story and you have managed to get money and your crews are there and then you finish it off within 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It's like right now I have been working on 2 feature documentaries which is taking me almost 5 years. I have been shooting for 5 years, 2 projects together, because documentary takes time. When you talk about people's lives and their stories, their evolution, their changes in a certain time span, you have to devote that much of time to the character, and it requires a decent amount of money. But unfortunately, we don't have a support system in India in terms of funding, in terms of distributing, I mean, making it visible in this country. That's a huge tragedy for Indian cinema. When we celebrate the fact that we produce the greatest amount of cinema in this country, and when we have this big film festival spending so much money, so the darker side of it, that this community has failed to recognize one of the most vibrant and thriving practice of our cinema. It's a tragedy for Indian cinema, I believe so.
Do you blame only on the others, or do documentary themselves have something to blame for not having made it a success?
Means I didn't understand.
Normally when we have an issue, we blame on someone or point someone, but is there is there any correction from the documentary side to be made?
What they will do, they arrange their own money, they find their own character, they spend time in villages and wherever. Then they edit the film, then they make the film, then they submit the film to the festival, then they get award. Whenever they get award, even previously national award winning films used to be shown in Doordarshan and people used to get decent. That is not there anymore. So what a documentary filmmaker, a small, creative, sensitive person will do with this huge system, apathetic system? What documentary filmmaking community can do is make very good films. That they have been doing in this country for 20 years.
How much of unity is there between the documentary movie makers?
As much as the unity is there in other communities and other status of the society. Like among the working class, among the teachers, among the laborers, among the... I mean, we are part of the society. But it's true that we don't have a strong platform.
Hello. Hello, sir. My question is for both of you. So, like, when did you realize that you wanted to be a filmmaker? And like, for you, Mr. Sen, coming from a different country, and for Mr. Soren coming from a tribal community, like, what was the reaction of the people when you told them that you wanted to go for filmmaking?
I'm coming from India only. My parents they also came from India. Yeah, it was India. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. So, see, I don't have any formal, training in filmmaking. I have never been to film school. I was a commerce student. I studied accountancy. Then I did my bachelor's in accountancy. Then I did my master's in journalism. Then I didn't like journalism. I wanted to express myself. So suddenly the ghost of filmmaking, it happened like that. But one very important thing I did, when I realized I have to make, I love cinema, within 1 year I started making my first film. That only helped me. Because I learned filmmaking from making it. So, yeah, that was very important for me. I learned filmmaking from my friends who who worked as cinematographer, editors, because I didn't know anything about filmmaking. So that helped me a lot.
Yes, when I realized in 2010, I was working at that time, and so I was working, earning well, everything was fine, but still I was feeling somewhere inside like nothing is going right. So then one day suddenly, I used to I always stay most of the time at those time. Now I sleep early. At those time I used to be awake whole night. So I used to think like, okay, what should I do? So in 2010, like somewhere in October, I still remember this because obviously I remember that. So I realized one morning like, okay, this thing is not working out, so I will quit my job and I will get into films. Okay, but if I get into films, then what should I do? So I thought, okay, I will write stories, I will direct, and this is what I will do. So next day into the office, I put a resignation. I said, I'm going, I'm leaving, and I don't know what to do then. So I quit. Then I went home. So my parents were obviously not happy with my decision. So they said, okay, it's we thought like you started earning, so now we are thinking like you will get married next year and you will settle down. So I crashed all their dreams and all. Then this is how it happened. So this is what. So I'm very happy for that decision now.
I also left a government job.
Yeah. even I'm also like you, like a commerce graduate. So I think हम लोग जब छोटे थे तो I mean like after I think in 80s 90s and like this commerce thing was coming up, so most of the people used to do commerce. Even my father was also he's also in railway, also he's also a financial manager, so he also have studied commerce, so he wanted me also to be into it, commerce and all. I was a good student in commerce also. So हम लोग के उधर बोलते थे from in Nagpur, I mean like people we used to do BCom, bachelor in commerce, तो ये सब बेकाम के लोग हैं, इनको कुछ नहीं सोच.
बंगाली में बोलते थे बुद्धि कम.
So
फिल्म की भूत वो तो गए.
जब तक निकलेगा नहीं वो पागल करना ही चाहिए उन्हें. सब इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क टू मैनेज द मनी फास्ट, बट प्यार मोहब्बत के लिए सबसे बड़ी चीज करेगा. किसी के उधार करके लोन करके करेगा एकदम पक्का. आप लोगों का भूत है, भूत के लिए चलता है सब.
I mean, from after 2010, whatever I did, I just did it in love. So this is what, like, yeah.
Chasing your dream and learning by doing, both are equally rewarding. So we'll have our next press conference at 4 o'clock. Meet the directors, Cinema of the World. Thank you. We can have a photo opportunity now.
Thank you.